The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Saban Entertainment, and Subaraya Productions.
Welcome, everybody. Time to do something that's been very, very requested.
Oh, yes.
By people in our comments and things like that. Top 10, I'm a liar, top 11 Kamen Rider seasons, because I can do what the fuck I want. It's my damn channel.
Yes.
So I'm doing 11. Because
now, we're going to do this a little differently from the Sentai one, because Matt is not here, but this is how he feels as well. Neither one of us can agree on the order that we would put them in on a collective top 10 list. So instead, we're just going to give you our individual lists.
Yes. And I'll be the first one for this one. So, top 11, because honorable mentions shouldn't exist for me. Number 11.
Number 11.
Kabuto.
Really? What?
I like this show a lot.
I am so surprised.
But I will acknowledge
I thought this was going to be so much higher up.
See, dashing expectations are something I do. Dash Kokai. See, that's a Go Andra reference. Nobody gets it because no one likes that show. But yeah, Kabuto. I love this show. I love the characters and everything. But I acknowledge the fact that this story makes no sense at the end.
Yeah.
It loses track of itself really, really badly. But I love watching this show because it's cool.
Yes.
This show
is
a
very cool show.
Yes, it's just super speed and having the fights and everything, and the way that they end up, fighting along walls and things like that.
In the rain with like droplets frozen in time. That was awesome.
That was okay. Number 10, 555 Fies. I like this show. I should have gone for the pun, but it wouldn't have made sense for this list. But yeah, I like Fies. The main issue I have with this show is I love the suits. The story isn't bad.
Suits are cool.
The story isn't bad. There is, of course, some issues. And the main issue with it is something that we're going to be talking about a lot more in the review, is the fact that lack of communication is a struggle when your goddamn...
Morpher is a cell phone.
Yeah, when your Henshin device is a cell phone, you can't call anybody and tell them that they're wrong, or somebody else has your belt or something like that. That irks me. But it makes me keep wanting to watch the show, because I'm just like, everybody in this show is stupid. Stop being stupid.
Stop being stupid.
Yeah, I really like Fies, though. It's a really fun show to watch, and I can't wait till we're going to end up doing it after the Hurricanes review. So, there is that. Number 9, Fifth Thread. This show...
I'm a little surprised to see him that high as well.
Yeah, I like V3 a lot.
Because I know you like V3 a lot, yes.
Yeah, the main issue with V3, not much of an overarching plot.
Fair.
And that hurts it. That definitely does hurt it. But the characters are cool. It's good to see 1 and 2 coming back. This is really early on in the Kamen Rider franchise, but V3 is just a really fun show. I love the hilarity that show gives us sometimes with the goddamn train. You thought you killed me. Haha, I'm at the front of this train now. But V3 is a really fun show, and I love Hiroshi Miyauchi.
Oh, we all do.
So
He's a great actor.
You're just really, really good in this show. We should watch Zubat at some point. Not the Pokemon who comes out of nowhere and tries to, every time you walk 3 feet. But yeah. Number 8.
I'm sure many people can relate. Number 8.
W.
Nice.
I like W.
I love W as well.
Now, here is the main problem I have with this show. Lots and lots of more or less filler and those 2-parter episodes.
Yeah.
And I do not
They're pretty much all 2-parter episodes.
I don't really like 2-parter episodes, and that's sort of my thing. Dino screwed everybody over with that. Because of Dino, we got that for years.
Up until Gaim.
Yeah, up until Gaim, and then it's just like, hey, we're just going to take that step back.
Say what you want about Ghost, at least it got away from
that. In some cases, yeah. Number 7, Drive. Don't really like the first half of Drive, like a lot of people. But after it ends up,
but if it's this high on the list, I mean, that second half must be pretty good.
That second half is amazing. Bar Kiriko getting turned into a trophy. We talked about that.
Go watch that rant about
that's
about the Tokutalk about the treatment of women in Kamen Rider for more thoughts.
That's a main one. But I really like Drive. I like the characters, like Shinosuke, like Go, like Chase. And most of the cast. I'm not really a big fan of those gigantic casts who have a lot of comedic characters like Forze or Drive in this case. Wizard will never be on any of our top 10 lists, so there's that.
Well, it's been on a few.
Yeah, for not characters. But yeah, I really like Drive. Drive is a really good show. Number 6, Gaim. I like Gaim quite a bit, but
as do all three of us.
Yeah, but there are some things that just like could have been a lot better, and some things that definitely could have been worse. Main problem with Gaim is the fact that my number 5 pick, it's basically just more or less a rehash from that. That's more a fault of Earl Butcher because he's a big fan of my number 5 pick, and we basically saw Gaim more or less in Madoka. So yeah, it's sort of a rehash of something we've already seen before. But I still really like it. I like the fact that it was brought to a new medium, and the fact that we got to explore something a little bit different with that show itself. Did have a main problem with the ending too, because that fight between Gaim and Baron lasted so much shorter than it should have. It was like half of an episode. I'm serious, like this should have been an episode and a half, just based on how powerful these two characters are.
Yeah, fair enough.
It would have been a lot better if they did the ending better. Number 5. So we get into that. Ryuki. Love Ryuki. Such a good show.
Go check our review out.
Yeah, it's a long review for a reason. I love Ryuki. It's so much fun, but you can see why I place it higher than Gaim, because a lot of the things they did in Ryuki were brought to Gaim and Madoka and things like that. Ryuki's just fun. I love the concept of the Rider War, the concept of those multiple universes.
Not really any other writer like it.
Yeah. Like, it's sort of sad that we sort of haven't gotten another one, but Ryuki's the black sheep for the reason.
Yeah.
And, I like the fact that we sort of get those multiple universes with, these ones, the main universe that at the end of the 3 universes itself, the way their time ends up working. The alternates are in that one. If they were in the universe before that, there would have been Fem and Ryuga in that one. If they were in the universe before that one, Verde and Fem and Ryuga and Odin and everybody else.
Because so many writers.
Yeah, the 13 writers one, I felt like that's for... No, I felt like the Fem and Ryuga one is first in the way the timelines are working, then the one with Verde, and then the alternates in the last one. I really like Ryuki, though. The characters are fun. The story is good, and I like the pacing. I know some people have an issue with the pacing. I like that kind of pacing. Speaking of pacing, I skipped one. Sorry. Number 4, X8. I know it ain't done yet. You got a problem with it? Deal.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just really surprised to see it this high on the list.
X8's great. I like it more than Gaim and Ryuki. It's such a good show. Wow. Like, yes, I know it's not done yet, but from what it has done up to this point, everything has been so good. And it gave us the meme that is Gin. It gave us the Game Master and the gigantic meme that he became. I love him. He's just so over the top, but he's so much fun. And I just really like the way the characters are written, the story is going. This week's episode, as of recording this, is going to be insane. That's episode 39. Episode 38 was amazing. I'm waiting to see how episode 39 is going to go, because I'm getting the feeling like after this, we're going to need a breather episode. It's going to be that much. But yeah, X8 is so good. I can't wait to see how it's going to end. I know the movie is supposed to be the true ending. That is the name of it. It is a video game, so that's...
Yeah, that makes sense.
But after that, I really can't wait to see how that's going to end up being versus the main ending of the show. Because a lot of the earlier Kamen Riders, their movies end up being more or less alternate universes. This is the first time that we're actually getting a split ending. So I really can't wait to see exactly how that's going to go. I feel that's going to be a lot of fun. Number 3, Kuga. Great show. Great.
It was going to be out there somewhere.
Main cast is great. People have issues with his pacing. I'm not going to blame you. It is sort of slow. But I love it.
It is more of a J-drama.
Yeah, I love this show. I love Kuga so much. It's one of those shows where I'm just like, I can watch this, and each time it feels like I'm watching something new. Because I'll notice something again. It's just like, it's pretty solid story. It sort of has that same issue as we just talked about in Tiga, where like the main sort of villain doesn't appear until the end, but there is sort of an overarching plot in how the villain faction ends up working. I really like the way they end up doing that, and the reason why the main villain, I guess the final antagonist at the end of it makes a lot more sense, just based on how that show sets it up and how that show sets itself. Number 2, Black. I like Black.
Kamen Rider.
This is also sort of the issue that I have with Drive, though, because I don't really like the first half. Like whenever Shadow Moon first shows up, because it's just like it feels very standard Kamen Rider or like standard Sentai or something like that, where it's really Monster of the Week heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But after Shadow Moon comes up and it ends up becoming just that much more personal, it's great. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way that this show ends up ending. We do not acknowledge that Black Arts exists. But yeah, Black is a really, really good show. I love the last series of episodes of this.
Oh, yeah.
They're so good.
The final arc between him and Shadow Moon and their final conflict. Oh gosh,
it's so top tier.
It's so good.
It's so top tier.
It's some of the best television that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's really good stuff.
So good. Number 1, Blade.
Really?
I like Blade a lot.
Oh my gosh!
Those first 10 episodes, I'm just but after that, once the plot really picks up, and
I am so surprised by your list, sir.
I love Blade. Blade is great. It's so good. It's just those first 10 episodes are not that good, but just once that plot picks up and really end up getting into the mystery of the the monsters that they're fighting and the cards and everything and how they really end up tying into Hajime and Chalice and everything like that, and that last final arc where he's constantly using King form and turning more and more into a Joker, and he understands why he's doing it because he doesn't want Hajime to die. And he's just two of you have to exist at the same time, or else basically the world is going to end up being destroyed. Two of the Jokers do. So he ends up making Kenzaki ends up making himself a Joker to make sure that Hajime doesn't die. I love it. It's such a good show. It's so good. I love Blade. I love the fact that we're getting closer and closer to reviewing it. I'm just so excited.
Fives and then Blades after that, right?
Well, that's Kamen Rider we'll be doing. That's Kamen Rider we'll be doing after it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. But yeah, Blade, I'm probably going to get some hate for this list. I'm okay with that. Leave your hate in the comments below. But, yeah,
Please do. He can take it. It only makes him stronger.
It does. It gives me joy. But yeah, Blade is great. I love that show. It's it's so hard choosing between the top 3 because I love Kuga. It's my favorite overall show. Black just has that ending, but Blade has that part where it's just I have so much more respect for that character at the end of it. And that sort of just ramps that show up for me. If I could choose it, I might if I could switch any of the 3, I might make Kuga number 1, might make Black number 1, who knows? But just for me, Blade makes a lot more sense in having that number 1 spot, at least for me. But yeah, that's my top 10 list. Stay tuned for whoever's going to be next. I don't know who's going to be. You or Matt? Who knows? But yeah, tell us what your top 10 ones are below. Wait until the next time to see theirs, and tell us what your top 10 are after you see theirs. But yeah.
Or if they do top 11s as well.
Yes. But yeah, let us know what you think. Go on our Facebook page, comment on our Twitter and stuff like that. But yeah, this has been Tokucast, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.